Well, that article appeared just days after President Erdogan took part in a Tehran summit along with Russia and Iran, who support the Syrian government in an effort to resolve the situation in Idlib. Well, let's now bring in Eytan Cohen Yanarocak, a Turkish affairs expert and researcher at Tel Aviv University. For his take, you're welcome to the programme. Turkey's position seems somewhat contradictory here. Is this a political move, or is Erdogan unsure which side he should now take, perhaps?
Okay, first of all, we should underline a fact. Turkey is trying to dance in two different weddings at the same time. While trying to having good relationship with Russia, they are also trying to have good relationship with the United States. From Turkey's point of view, we have two important matters here. One is its own allies that are backed by the Free Syrian Army. That's their names is Jabhat al-Wataniya al-Tahrir. And the second issue is, of course, the refugee crisis. And in this regard, also, Mr. Erdogan made it very clear that not only Turkey will pay the price of this offensive against Idlib, but also the whole European Union. In other words, Mr. Erdogan is trying to say if United States and the West will not do anything regarding the Idlib offensive, not to stop the Bashar al-Assad and its own allies, so Turkey may, open the borders of Turkey so that the current 3.5 million refugees that are residing in Turkey may come to Europe, because at the end of the day, nowadays, according to reports, what we understand that there are 3 million peoples in Idlib that may come to Turkey, and Turkish administration made it very clear that they cannot carry this burden anymore.
Following up on that, Ankara says that the Syrian government offensive in Idlib, that it should stop, and if it doesn't, is Damascus going to listen? What kind of reaction, in effect, could we expect from Erdogan? You say about opening the borders. Anything else?
Well, Turkey, again, they don't want to open the borders. They told it very clearly that they cannot have this burden anymore. And in this regard, Turkey is trying to differentiate the different groups, like Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which is considered as an Al-Qaeda offshoot, and it is also considered as a terrorist organization also by Turkey. But from the other hand, Turkey sees some other groups like Jabhat al-Wataniya al-Tahrir as a legitimate part of the Free Syrian Army, and maybe Turkey will be more satisfied if these entities will be transferred to the northern part of the Idlib province, as it was done before in the Aleppo province. So in this regard, Turkey is also trying to send a clear message to Bashar al-Assad, meaning that by sending reinforcements to the Jarablus and Afrin cantons, Turkey is trying to say to Bashar al-Assad, if you're going to make an offensive, so you're going to face the consequences. Okay. Of course, from my perspective, it is very much unlikely, but we're going to see.
Just while we have you on the programme, your overall thoughts on the situation. I'll just go through the most pertinent of them. Idlib, the last terrorist stronghold in the country, and Syria appears close to defeating them there. But there's been harsh exchanges of rhetoric between the US, Russia, amongst others. Why do you think that is? Shouldn't the fight against terrorism, killers, people trying to take over that region, be a goal that unites all parties?
Look, this is a very old story, From your perspective, an entity might be considered as a terrorist organization, but for the other party, that the same entity might be considered as a freedom warrior. And of course, in this case, we are very well aware that nobody is calling this Hayat Tahrir al-Sham fighters as freedom fighters. But in this regard, we should concentrate on the humanitarian matter. What is this? Approximately, if I'm not mistaken, 3 million people may turn into refugees, and these people may come to Europe, and of course, it's not a secret that these people unfortunately not wanted there. And in terms of welfare, it will create a very harsh headache for the European capitals, and also, the far-right extremism will climb and will deteriorate drastically in European capitals. So this is like a domino effect, and it will have very harsh consequences for the European politics. So it's not that simple that one side is attacking against the terrorists and the others should applaud, because there are some other effects, side effects.
The thoughts of Eytan Cohen Yanarocak, a Turkish affairs expert and researcher at Tel Aviv University, live on the programme.